Have you ever followed every single safe rule about money, only to realize you're still broke, stressed, and one unexpected bill away from disaster? Yeah, welcome to the game of playing it safe, while losing quietly. Because here's the truth nobody wants to admit. The biggest financial trap isn't taking risks. It's blindly following safe advice designed to keep you average. This video won't be like the others because we're diving headfirst into a topic that's going to ruffle some feathers a bit and maybe wake up your bank account from its eternal slumber. What I'm about to reveal is precisely why poor people think they're playing it safe, but they're actually losing. That's right, no sugarcoating, no fluff. Just a bold, honest conversation about money mindsets that keep us stuck. But first, tell me if this sounds familiar. Get a job, save a little, don't rock the boat, work for 40 years, and maybe retire if your knees still function. Honestly, if this is the script you've been following, then you've been led astray. And that's exactly what you'll find out in today's video. But let's just break this down, point by point. Rule number 1, get a safe job and you'll be fine. Translation, put your entire financial future in the hands of one income source that you don't even control. Let's set the stage real quick. You have a stable job, decent pay, and maybe some benefits. You're thinking, that's safe, right? I've got a roof over my head, food on the table. Why rock the boat? But here's the harsh reality. No job is guaranteed forever. And relying on one source of income is like walking a tightrope without a safety net. If that job goes away due to layoffs, restructuring, or an economic downturn, you're suddenly free-falling. You want to know what's not safe? Having a single paycheck from a boss who can fire you on a Friday and ruin your weekend. That's not safety. That's gambling. Entrepreneurs don't play roulette with their life savings. They build the damn casino. A safe job is fine. Until your company merges, downsizes, relocates, or your boss wakes up one day and just decides to let you go. And let's be real. Half of us are quietly working jobs we hate, slowly dying inside just so we can afford gas and avocado toast. But here's the crazy part. Even if you keep that safe job, you're still not winning. Because of rule number 2. Rule number 2, live below your means. Sounds smart until you realize you're just shrinking your life to fit a broken income system. Now, please don't misunderstand me here. Yes, budgeting is important, but too many people treat it like a religion. They coupon clip, cut Netflix, and brag about making coffee at home like they discovered fire. Look at me, I saved $80 this month. Cool. Jeff Bezos made that in the time it took you to say it. As we discussed in previous videos, living below your means isn't a long-term strategy. It's a short-term survival tactic. Eventually, you can only cut so much. What you need is to expand your means. Grow the income side. Because here's the truth, you don't become rich by spending less. You become rich by earning more and investing it smarter. And please, I have to pause the video right now and explain something to you. Most people will watch and don't apply anything that I'm telling you. It's not just this video. Our Financial Freedom series is a step-by-step playlist to help you fully understand what true wealth really means. Go back and watch those videos, and as always, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Rule number 3, avoid all debt like the plague. Debt. Everyone's least favorite D word, unless we count diet, but that's a whole other conversation. There's a reason that, especially in lower income circles, the idea of taking on any form of debt is treated like an invitation for the Grim Reaper to knock on your door. After all, we've heard the horror stories about payday loans, credit card interest rates higher than your blood pressure during tax season, and bankruptcies that ruin lives. So the default stance becomes, avoid debt at all costs. When you stop and think about it, debt is so overused, it should be printed on a mug at your broke uncle's house. But let me ask you something. Is debt always bad, or is it just misunderstood? For me, it's all about perspective. A credit card with a ridiculous 25% APR that you max out on daily Starbucks runs is, yes, bad news. But leveraging a business loan to purchase equipment for your side hustle that's consistently turning a profit. That might be a strategic move. The poor mindset lumps everything under never owe money, missing out on the nuance that if you can use borrowed money to generate more than you owe in interest, that debt can become a stepping stone, not a stumbling block. And if you've been following our Financial Freedom series, you've probably heard me say this before. Poor people think all debt is dangerous. Rich people think bad debt is dangerous, but good debt builds empires. Bad debt is buying a jet ski on a credit card. Good debt is using a mortgage to own a rental property that cash flows every month. Poor mindset. I owe money, I'm screwed. Rich mindset. I leverage money to make more money. You think billionaires use their own cash to buy skyscrapers? No, they borrow at 3% and make 10%. Anyway, I wouldn't mind making an entire video on this topic if there's any interest. Just let me know in the comments. And that brings us to the biggest silent killer of all. The mindset myth that's been sold for generations. Rule number 4, play it safe and you won't lose. Now trust me, I get it. This one sounds comforting. It feels like grandma tucking you in at night. But here's the problem. Playing it safe in today's economy is the fastest way to fall behind. This video isn't just a breakdown. It's a full-blown wake-up call. Because the poor don't stay poor by accident. They stay poor because they're told that safety is smart, when in reality, safety is a silent killer of wealth. And don't worry, I'll show you how with real examples, so just bear with me. Picture this. You're holding on to your last 20 bucks like it's a winning lottery ticket that's about to expire. You clutch it, you stare at it, maybe you even sniff it. Hey, no judgment. The point is, you're so terrified of losing that $20 that you never ask the bigger question. Wait, is there a way I could turn this 20 into 40? Because in your mind, the thought of it going from 20 to 0 is so traumatizing, you'd rather not even try. But here's the kicker. Not all risk is created equal. Some risks are essential, especially if you're serious about building wealth or stepping out of the rat race. There's a big difference between gambling your entire life savings on a shady crypto coin you heard about from your cousin's ex-roommate's barber and carefully investing in something that has a proven track record, like index funds, real estate, or building a skill that can multiply your earning potential. Unfortunately, the folks who are super allergic to risk often lump it all into one bucket. Risk is dangerous, must be avoided at all costs. Inflation is eating your savings. Wages are stagnating. AI is coming for your job like it's got a hit list. And the truth is, comfort is expensive. You're either growing or decaying. There's no neutral in this game. You don't coast to wealth, you build it aggressively. And just when you thought you were being responsible, let's talk about your emergency fund. Rule number 5, keep all your money in a savings account. AKA, let your money rot peacefully. Okay, now wait a minute. Saving is good, right? Everyone says, save for a rainy day. But here's the twist. When saving is driven by pure fear, like you're expecting the apocalypse tomorrow, it can become another version of playing it safe that actually stunts financial growth. There's a big difference between a strategic emergency fund and an I shall never let this money see the light of day approach. I want you to listen to me carefully. People who fear losing every penny often tuck cash away in a traditional savings account or under their mattress, believe it or not, without ever considering low-risk investment vehicles that could at least outpace inflation. And I get it. The stock market can seem like a roller coaster. Real estate can be complicated, and even peer-to-peer lending might sound like a Ponzi scheme if you're not familiar with it. But if all you do is hoard cash, you're essentially watching your money shrink in value year over year. Let's break this down with math. Average interest in a savings account, around 0.40%. Inflation, anywhere from 3% to 8%, depending on how spicy the economy feels. That means your safe money is quietly losing value every single year. It's like keeping ice cream in the sun and being shocked when it melts. Rich people don't just save, they move money. Investments, assets, cash flow, compound growth. You know what is safe? Owning things that beat inflation, generate income, and don't care if your boss skips your raise. But even if you start investing, the poor mindset sneaks in with the next safe move. Rule number 6, invest only in what you understand. Now this sounds wise, right? Well, it is, until it becomes an excuse to never invest in anything. Stocks are risky. Real estate is complicated. Crypto is confusing. So what do? They sit on the sidelines while the game is being played. If you only invest in what's easy to understand, guess what? You'll be limited to what's easy, not what's effective. You don't need a PhD to invest. You need courage and curiosity. Read a book, watch a video, ask questions, but don't confuse ignorance with safety. And if that wasn't enough, let's talk about the ultimate play-it-safe strategy, college. Rule number 7, go to school, get good grades, get a job. Ah yes, the blueprint for guaranteed mediocrity. For a long time, I've wanted to discuss this topic, and I think now is the perfect time. Let's be real. This Stone Age advice worked great in 1973, but today, you can graduate with $100,000 in debt and a degree in general studies. College isn't bad, but blindly going without a plan is. Meanwhile, the kid who skipped college learned copywriting or coding online watching YouTube videos and built a six-figure business from his bedroom, that kid's already on his second Airbnb property while you're Googling how to defer student loans. But even worse than debt or school is the mentality that keeps you in survival mode forever. Rule number 8. Don't aim too high. Have you ever heard this one before? Be realistic. Don't get your hopes up. People like us don't become rich. This isn't just bad advice. It's generational poison. If there's one piece of advice I want you to take from this video, it's this. Poor people don't just inherit poverty. They inherit belief systems that say wealth is for other people, not you. But here's the truth. You will never rise above the story you believe about yourself. You want to change your financial future? Change the identity of the person you believe you are. And once you start breaking those beliefs, you'll realize the world's been lying to you about security. Rule number 9, security comes from a steady paycheck. Nah, real security comes from options. You don't feel free when you get paid. You feel free when you can walk away from the thing that pays you. That's what financial freedom actually means. You don't need to say yes to things you hate just to pay rent. You want real security? Build skills, build assets, build multiple income streams. You need to realize that the average millionaire has 7 sources of income. The average poor person, just 1. But none of this matters if you stay trapped in the most dangerous lie of all. Rule number 10. If I just work hard, things will work out. Look, we've all heard the rags to riches story of the person who wakes up at 4 a.m. every day, grinds until midnight, and magically becomes a millionaire. That narrative sells. But behind the scenes, there's more to it. If working hard alone was enough, then every person holding down 3 part-time jobs would be rolling in dough, right? Yet, we know that's not how it works. The difference lies in the strategy, working hard on the right things. Keep in mind what I'm about to tell you. If you're poor or struggling, you may believe the only path forward is brute force. Pick up more shifts, get multiple jobs, say yes to every opportunity, even if it pays pennies. That approach can keep you afloat, but it rarely propels you to true financial freedom. Why? Because you're trading hours for dollars. There's a cap on how many hours you can work before you burn out physically and mentally. The real breakthrough happens when you figure out how to scale your efforts, systematize your income streams, or pivot into higher value skill sets. Hard work is important, but it's not enough. The biggest myth among the work harder crowd is that time equals money, and the more time you put in, the more money you'll have. But time is finite. Working smart means decoupling your income from your hours, or at least multiplying your output by leveraging tools, systems, and networks. It's about finding synergy, not just clocking hours. I mean, if hard work was the answer, every janitor would be a millionaire, right? What matters is leverage. What matters is strategy. What matters is doing the right things, not just doing more things. We've been trained to believe hustle alone leads to wealth, but the people getting rich are the ones building systems, buying assets, and working smart, not just hard. So, are you actually playing it safe or just playing yourself? If any of this hits you in the gut, that's good. That's how change starts. Because the harsh truth is this: poor people don't stay poor by being lazy. They stay poor by being too cautious to invest, too cautious to start, too cautious to take the leap. But the biggest risk? Spending your whole life being careful and never living the life you actually want. So here's your call to action. Question everything. Learn something new every day. Take small, calculated risks. Build something that makes money while you sleep. Because playing it safe isn't safe anymore. In fact, it's not just about playing it safe here. There are actually 9 habits you must adopt literally every day if you truly want to become a millionaire. Just click the video on the screen here, and we'll see you in the next one.